Well, what in the world do we have here? That, my friends, is a gorgeous little ukulele. Build yourself DIY ukulele kit. So way back at the start of this quarantine for COVID-19, my little grandson Cade says, "Grandpa, you should build your own ukulele." And I said, "Yeah, I don't think so, buddy." And then it sort of dawned on me that the dudes have a little brand new cousin named Raven, and they are just raving about their new cousin Raven. And Raven's dad, Aaron Jones, is a highly accomplished professional musician. And the next thing that happened on my Facebook feed or my Instagram feed, boom, all of a sudden these little ads for build your own ukulele were popping up. And I thought, dude, I could build this uk, and then the dudes could paint something cool on here, and then I could get it strung up and tuned, and Raven would have his own first little instrument to play. So at some point, maybe he's going to accompany his dad playing some tunes. How cool would that be? My plan is I'm going to build it, glue it all together, get it all kind of sanded and ready to go, take it down to the dude's house. They're going to do some artwork on it. They'll give it back to me. I'll string it, finish up the final stuff, and then we'll have it all ready for Raven's birthday, which is, I think, the 31st of May, something like that. 29, 30, 31st, somewhere right in there. See, this is going to be a little bit of fun. I'll glue these little pegs in, and then this guy will get glued onto here. But man, look at this gnarly little bit of stuff right here. That's going to need to get cut down a little bit, I think. I got just a little bit of squeeze out all the way around there, and that's good. That's kind of what we're looking for. So, 5 minutes of work on this guy today, and it'll have to sit till tomorrow. Good morning. Here we are in the shop, and brand new day. I got my little wood burning tool plugged in and warming up. Next up on the list is what we're going to do is we're going to put a maker's badge or a manufacturing tag on here. On my other ukuleles where it says Kala or Enya, or on my little soprano ukulele where it says Koa Pili Koko right here, we're going to write on ours Raven. And I've used different sizes here to try to figure out what's the right size. And I think my 35 font right there is going to be my guy. Now to just transfer that with a little carbon paper, and then I'll trace it out and we'll see if I can wood burn in that little nugget on there. Just go around lightly the first time. Okay, not too bad. I'll go over that a couple more times and make it look better. That came out all right. That's going to need a little sanding. No scratches on there. I want to spare you all the gory details of all of the sanding that's going to go on here. But I want to give it a one quick time rough sand, and then I'm going to glue on the fretboard, and it'll all need to be sanded again. Got it. Good. Okay. Yeah, good. That's good. Holy mackerel. That's a lot of clamps for such a small little item. Anyway, looks pretty good. Well, good morning. Look at this little item. I've cut out one of these, and we've put it right down in here. Look at that little beauty. Isn't that fun? Okay, so a new day here in the shop, and we have our cool little maker's mark in the inside in there. That's kind of fun. Got the bridge glued on and the nuts on, fretboards on, Now it's just time to start sanding down all these rough edges, and I won't bore you too much with that, but you get the idea. We're going to make this all nice and smooth everywhere. Then I'll get a first coat of poly on everything except for the top, and then I'll take it down to the dudes and they'll do a little artwork on the top, and then it'll come back to me and I'll put on the tuners and get some strings on it, and you know, all that sort of stuff, and it should be pretty close to being done. Right now that's kind of rough on there, so I got to do a little work on that. That's where we are. Better. Very nice and smooth on here now, and I'm fairly pleased with the sanding. But like every project, there's, you know, always a couple steps forward and one step back. And in the course of my sanding, I managed to knock the nut off of there. So I got to figure out a little better glue system for that. I'm not too worried because once it's strung, once the strings are on, it actually forces and holds the nut right down in place. And I've had guitars in the past where the nut was just barely attached and the strings are just well held it on. But I do need to kind of get it attached a little bit so that it'll be in place while we're doing the rest of the work. So, yeah, let's work on that for a little bit. There are actually a few little indentations on the bottom of the nut right there. And by kind of getting a good layer of glue along that, maybe that will help to hold it in place a little bit better. All right, well, that's a pretty good time to stop right there. I've got the nut back under some tape and a pretty good clamping pressure there. Well, howdy there. This is the Swing Shift crew checking in, and we're getting the first coat of polyurethane on the little ukulele here. Yeah. So we're not at the luthier shop anymore. We're at the art studio, and we're working on our little raven outline.
And then we're going to cut up into the feathers.
Yeah, cut up into the feathers.
Like a true raven.
Ooh,
you know?
Yeah. Cut up into the feathers. This. Okay. Yeah, nice.
What kind of GoPro?
Nice work, dudes.
Thank you.
So on the back here,
okay,
it just adds more shading, kind of scribblish.
Nice.
We finished with the bird figure, and I just got done with the details. So now we're just adding in the head, more of the head details.
Looks good, man. Pull your hand out. Let's get a little light on that subject.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Nice, kid.
Well, we had a super successful trip up to Moich Camp and got some artwork done on our little ukulele here by the dudes, and just fresh back now, and it's time to get another coat of polyurethane on there. Well, good morning. New day in the shop, new couple of days. Let this dry really, really well, and then I just got done hitting it with a little steel wool, and now it's all nice and smooth. Looks pretty good. Next up on our hit parade is we're going to put on the tuning pegs. So those have to roll right in there. Still working out exactly how these are going to sit on here perfectly. But I'm kind of thinking a little bit of an angle similar to this. I kind of need to put a little hole to start them there, so I'm going to tap those a little bit with my hammer. Get a little bit of a hole started there, and then with my magnetic tip screwdriver I can start this little fella in the hole. Okay, so I got our strings all separated here, and we're going to start doing the stringing up of this little bugger. And so I will say, before I even hear these played, a better set of strings will improve the sound of this ukulele 100%. But let's just keep an open mind and see what happens. Well, what better place? What better place to test this little guy than in the music room? Yeah, very nice. Sounds very bright. Perfect.
So my dad made that,
Hold that for him, Kay, because he's gonna toss it.
and the dudes did the art on it.
What do you got?
Dude, that's
Got one, huh?
You gonna rock it?
Thanks for watching our movie. Happy first birthday, Raven. That's all, folks.